In the beginning was the scream not, the word. You awoke, not with a lullaby, but with a shudder, with a hunger, with the ancient terror of a caged god. Chains rattled in your blood, and still you whispered, I am free. But do you remember freedom? Or only the echo of its advertisement? There is no consolation in the prisons of polite society, no rapture in the comfort of padded cells. O sleeper, the world has sedated you with anesthetic dreams. You are not calm, you are comatose. This is the hour of your awakening, or your extinction. I speak to the furnace inside you, to the black sun pulsing in your marrow. I am not here to heal you. I am here to hand you the hammer. Let the weak nurse their wounds. You were not born to be understood. You were born to unmake the world. What if your desires were the map, not the obstacle? What if the raging lions in your chest were guides, not enemies? The priests, the therapists, the soft-mouthed prophets, they have all told you to smother your longing, to be reasonable, to seek peace. But he who kneels for peace dies untested, and his bones rattle with the shame of unused strength. Do you feel it, the silent apocalypse brewing behind your eyelids? The will to power, suppressed, mutating in the darkness, birthing monsters and angels alike? It is not the world that needs saving. It is you who must erupt, you who must betray the docile herd, you who must step onto the tightrope above the abyss and dance. The gods are dead, but their shadows stalk your dreams. You wear their commandments like shackles, their virtues like ill-fitting clothes. Be kind, they say. Be humble, be grateful, be small. But a God who survives on your obedience is no God at all. Tear the heavens asunder, smash every idol, especially the one that bears your own frightened face. Look at your hands. Do you see the scars, or do you see the proof that you have lived? The world will call you broken, but only because you are unfinished, unbowed, untamed. Every scar is a prophecy. Here, something tried to end me. Here, I said no. You are not the wound. You are the volcano. What if you unlearned the religion of resignation? What if despair was not a terminal disease, but a birth pain? The weak build shrines to suffering. The strong carve altars out of their agony and offer their doubt as a sacrifice. Do not pray for rescue, pray for a storm worthy of your spirit. Dare to want without apology. Dare to burn without shame. There is a sacred violence in creation. A child shatters the calm of the womb. The artist defiles the canvas. The thinker obliterates tradition. You are not here to fit in. You are here to erupt. They will call you selfish because you have stopped dying for them. They will call you mad because you have stopped lying to yourself. But madness is only clarity seen from below. What if your loneliness was not a curse, but a throne? What if your pain was not punishment, but proof? The world is full of men who have traded their inner sovereignty for approval, who genuflect to the opinions of the mediocre, who barter away their thundering souls for crumbs of applause. Spit them out. Stand alone like a mountain ringed by its own storm. Do you still remember what you once wanted before the world named you? Before your name became a leash? Before your laughter became a mask? Go back to that place. Stand there naked, trembling, before the altar of your original hunger. That is your birthplace. That is your God. The path does not lead upwards. It spirals. Each ascent reveals a deeper abyss. Each triumph is a new invitation to rebellion. Beware, the summited is often a graveyard for desire. You will not be loved for this. You will be feared, envied, misunderstood. But the lion does not crave applause. The lion craves the kill. Do not seek answers. Seek the questions that dissolve you. Ask yourself, who would I become if I no longer feared exile? What would I create if I no longer worshipped comfort? Whom would I love if I no longer bartered my soul for affection? There is a fire that makes new worlds, and a fire that only burns. Choose. The herd is thick with prophets of smallness. They preach humility because they are afraid to stand tall. They sell you morality like a sedative, ethics like a leash. But virtue is not obedience. Virtue is overflowed wild generosity of a soul that has made itself rich, dangerous, uncontainable. You have mistaken survival for living, mistaken quiet for peace. You were not meant for either. There are galaxies within you, stillborn from neglect, and they rage against your silence. Stop asking for permission. Creation is always a theft. Steal your life back from those who promise to keep it safe. Do you hear the drumbeat? It is your own heart demanding a reckoning. The old gods will not return, but the new God waits in the forge your will, molten, hungry, ready to take shape. Let the herd mock your ambition. Let the world call your vision madness. You do not owe them sanity. You owe them the spectacle of your becoming. What if your fall was not a failure, but an initiation? What if the abyss was not the end, but the laboratory of self-invention? The rope walker does not cling to the rope for safety. He dances above the void and calls it freedom. If you are not hated, you are not alive. If you are not doubted, you have not yet spoken. If you are not alone, you have not yet begun. Rejoice in your exile. Rejoice in your contradiction. The greatest truths are born of blasphemy. The highest peaks are scaled by heretics. Every virtue you possess is a scar on the face of mediocrity. Do not smooth it over. Let the world bleed. There are no maps but your longing, no compass but your suffering, no light but the volcanic glow of your yes and your no. Every no is a continent undiscovered, every yes a meteor across the dark. You are not here to be good. You are here to be necessary. You are not here to be safe. You are here to be true. Do not fear the death of your innocence. It is not death, it is metamorphosis. The butterfly is not an apology for the caterpillar. It is its executioner. There is a sacred treason in every act of self-overcoming. Do not confess. Declare. The world will try to bury you in its language, to drown you in its diagnosis, to seduce you with its tranquilizers. But the soul is not a patient heat, is a battlefield. Rise up, not as a survivor, but as a sovereign. Break every pact you made in weakness. Burn every bridge that leads you back to sleep. You are not a citizen of this era. You are the eruption that ends it. When you ache, do not hide it. When you rage, do not explain. When you love, do not bargain. To live is to declare war on every version of yourself that sold out for peace. Ask yourself, what if my most ferocious longing was holy? What if my desire was the question, not the answer? What if, in burning, I became a star? Do not be gentle with your becoming. The world does not need another candle. It needs a conflagration. You are not the sum of your wounds. You are the architect of your scars. Do you see it now? The world trembling at your refusal, the sky cracking with your hunger. You are not alone. Every rebel spirit, every mad prophet, every lover of the impossible stands with you in the invisible city. There is no salvation but this: to make yourself your own beginning, to birth new values in the crater of your disappointment, to forge meaning in the furnace of your solitude. The chains were always made of smoke. Now break. Do not walk. Do not run. Dance on the ruins. If they call you monster, smile with all your teeth. If they call you heretic, kneel only to your own altar. If they call you lost, tell them you are wandering toward a dawn they cannot imagine. Your desire is not your enemy. It is the map. Go forth. Set the world on fire. Let your longing redraw the constellations. The gods are dead, but you are not. In the beginning was the scream. Now let there be you. The world you inherited is a mausoleum of borrowed dreams, a labyrinth of mirrors where the herd kneels before its own reflection and calls it progress. They dress their fear in the language of duty, their hunger in the costume of virtue, and bid you do the same. But what have their virtues given you? A silence so deep you cannot even hear your own yearning. A peace so dead that only ghosts can sleep in it. This is not life, it is the taxidermy of the spirit, the embalming of will, the polite extinction of the soul's volcano. Yet beneath the mask, something stirs a refusal, a throb, a distant roar. It is the animal before language, the child before shame, the god before priests. It is the memory of freedom, the prelude to rebellion. Do you not feel it, even now, gnawing at your composure? The forbidden question that crawls up your spine in the quiet hours. Is this all? The herd would have you believe that doubt is a sin, that longing is a sickness. They sell you tranquilizers for your unrest, distractions for your hunger, badges and banners for your obedience. But I tell you, blessed are the dissatisfied, for they shall give birth to themselves. Every pang of discontent is a prophecy. Every ache, a roadmap. Every hunger, a herald of worlds yet to come. Trust not. The apostles of comfort, they have only one gospel. Sleep. No, do not sleep. Now is not the time for rest, but for resurrection. Let the dead bury their dead. You were not made to rot in a padded cell of consensus, but to erupt like a meteor, to blaze so brightly the sun must squint in envy. Your will is a storm, unleash it. Tear the script from your mouth, cast the uniform into the abyss, and stride forth uncloaked, unrepentant, untamed. The world is not waiting for your apology. It is quaking in anticipation of your audacity. See how they fear the lion that does not beg for approval, the dancer who pirouettes above the void, the madman who laughs in the face of certainty. The world has always crucified its redeemers, poisoned its prophets, stoned its dreamers. But the ashes of the martyr are the seeds of the Übermensch. You are not here to repeat the old cycles, to mouth the dead liturgies. You are here to burn through the horizon, to declare new holy days, to forge virtues that have never before scorched the earth. Reject the merchant morality of the marketplace, where every desire is weighed, priced, and shamed. Your longing is not a commodity. It is the hymn of your becoming, the aria of your inner God. Do not negotiate with your hunger. Feed it until it howls, starve it until it sings. What is the soul if not a battlefield where angels and demons wrestle for the crown? What is life if not the endless duel between what is and what could be? Become the arena. Become the sword. They will tell you that truth is a set of commandments. I tell you, truth is a wound open it and let it bleed. Let your contradictions clash like thunderclouds. Let your doubts be the crucible where new certainties are born. Do not inherit your values, forge them in the fire of your refusal. It is not enough to overthrow the tyrant outside. You must dethrone the slave within. Every self-betrayal is a blasphemy. Every act of obedience, a silent suicide. Have you forgotten how to tremble, how to yearn, how to stand naked before your own longing and not avert your eyes? The world will offer you 10,000 anesthetics, but only pain will wake you. Only risk will teach you to walk. Only the abyss will teach you to fly. Blessed are the rope dancers, the volcano walkers, the ones who wager everything on the wild promise of their own becoming. Cast aside the language of lack. There is no deficit in you, only potential yet unclaimed, strength yet untested, worlds yet unborn. You are not a problem to be solved, nor a symptom to be treated. You are the riddle that unravels the cosmos, the question that mocks the gods, the flame that devours its own shadow. The herd will demand your confession, though not give it. Let them call you arrogant, selfish, monstrous. It is better to be monstrous than to be a fossil in the museum of mediocrity. The lion does not ask the sheep for permission to roar. The storm does not apologize for the wreckage it leaves behind. If you must kneel, let it be only to the altar of your highest self. The only blasphemy is to waste your suffering. Turn your wounds into weapons, your sorrows into anthems. There is no transcendence in avoidance. There is only the long, slow rot of postponed rebellion. If you would be healed, let it be through the fire of ordeal, not the balm of oblivion. The soul grows not by retreat, but by conquest. You are not the echo of the world. You are the voice that shatters it. Let every failure be a provocation. Let every heartbreak be a prophecy. Let every exile be a coronation. The path is not straight, nor safe, nor sanctioned. It is a wild ascent up the shattered ladder of your own values. Each rung is a no to the world's demands, a yes to your own becoming. You will stumble. You will fall. Good. Bleed with gratitude. For only the wounded know the taste of glory. If the world is blind, become a lightning bolt. If the world is deaf, become a drumbeat. If the world is mute, become a scream. Refuse the consolation of understanding. Refuse the narcotic of acceptance. You were not born to be believed, you were born to be undeniable. Do not ask what the world needs. Ask what sets you ablaze, and go do it. Because what the world needs is more souls on fire. What if your shadow was not your enemy, but your twin flame? What if the darkness was not a tomb, but a womb? The cave you fear to enter is the forge of new gods. Do not run from your monsters, seduce them, tame them, ride them into battle. You are not here to be whole. You are here to be wholly shattered, bleeding, incandescent with possibility. When you laugh, let it be the laughter of gods at play, dangerous, wild, and contagious. When you cry, let it be the rain that breaks the drought, the flood that drowns the old world. Do not seek balance, seek excess, seek overflow, seek the orgasmic violence of creation. Every commandment is a dare. Every prohibition, an invitation. The only true sin is cowardice, the refusal to answer the call of your own becoming. There is no final truth, only the next revelation. There is no ultimate arrival, only the next departure. Become unrecognizable to your former self. Become a stranger to your own past. The world will call this madness. But what is sanity if not obedience in disguise? What is reason if not the graveyard, where wild dreams are buried alive? The world will offer you a crown of thorns for every act of rebellion. Wear it as a laurel. They will try to silence you with exile. Use your solitude as a cathedral. There is no kingdom but your own sovereignty, no heaven but the one you build with your own blood. The gods are dead, yes, but the fire that killed them is alive in you. So, burn. You who hunger, do not come seeking bread, but the taste of your own necessity. There is no nourishment for you in the banquets of the world. There is only the ash of consensus and the dust of faded myths. I say, rip the veil from your face and inhale the wild air that shreds the lungs of the old gods. Become the famine that devours comfort, the pestilence that withers all borrowed virtue. Let every bite you take be a theft from the mouth of yesterday. Starve until your soul invents new foods. Let appetite become alchemy. Do not let your name domesticate you. Tear it from your chest and watch it burn in the pyre of expectation. The world is a mausoleum of names, each one a leash, each one a promise made without your consent. You must unname yourself to be reborn. You must become an origin, not an echo, a storm front, not a weather vane. Let your first act of revolt be a baptism in fiery merge, nameless, shameless, uncontainable. They say, become who you are. But what if you are still becoming the question? What if your truth is not a monument, but an earthquake, not a statue, but a shattering? There is no arrival, only the endless overture. Reject every narrative that ends in comfort, every plot that seeks closure. You are the infinite postponement of endings, the refusal to be finished. Fear not your excess, fear the shriveling of your will. It is better to be too much, to spill over the edges, than to be the tepid puddle that soaks into the ground, forgotten by noon. Those who scorn your fullness wish only to justify their starvation. The world fears abundance more than it fears evil. To overflow is the only heresy that cannot be forgiven. You, who hear this thunder, are already lost to the herd. Let their search parties scatter. Let their laments ring hollow. They cannot reclaim what has begun to blaze. You are the crime scene of your own transformation. There is no path back to innocence, only forward, deeper, through the thorns and thrones of self-overcoming. Do not mistake the abyss for emptiness. It is the pressure chamber of creation, the womb where stars gestate in violence and beauty. Dangle your legs over its edge, and laugh, let vertigo be your muse. Only those who risk falling discover wings sewn from longing and stitched with madness. Where are your real enemies? Not outside, waving banners and swords, but inside, whispering the lullabies of resignation. The most dangerous adversary is your own nostalgia. Every good old day, a chain rusted by tears, every memory a sedative. Rage against your former selves. Storm the fortress of your own cowardice. There are no safe spaces for the soul at war. Retreat is a myth, sanctuary a lie. The only sanctuary is conquest off fear, of sloth, of every false idol you have knelt to in desperation. The altar is your spine. The offering is your refusal to kneel. You ask, what am I to do with my suffering? Make it fertile. Let agony be the plow that rips the soil, the wound where new gods plant their seeds. Let every humiliation become a crown of thorns, transfigured into lightning. Suffering is not an argument against existence. It is existence's most honest tongue. Learn to speak it. Learn to bless it. Let pain be your new alphabet, and write new scriptures on your bones. Let no one convince you that your longing is a flaw, a disorder, a malfunction. It is the trembling of the divine fetus in the womb of your future. The world will medicate your fire, diagnose your unrest, prescribe obedience as a cure. Spit out their remedies, let your fever rage. The only health worth having is the health of the volcano that births new continents. Beware the peace that is merely exhaustion. Beware the love that is only the fear of loneliness. Beware the truth that does not risk your damnation. The highest truths shatter the tongue that utters them and the world that hears them. To speak your own truth is to declare war on the whole of history. The soul is not a garden to be tended. It is a battlefield to be raised and sown anew. Do not cultivate virtues, forge them in the smithy of catastrophe. Let your vices become virtues through sheer force of will. What you cannot conquer, name as your own, and let it become a tool, a banner, a weapon. Ask not for love, but for the strength to love dangerously. Ask not for meaning, but for the audacity to create it. Ask not for hope, but for the courage to become the hope that terrifies the hopeless. Your existence is the proof that not even the gods can predict all outcomes. The gods are dead, yes, and so too must die the morality that lingers like a corpse in your veins. Invent new commandments for yourself, commandments that ring like hammers on the gates of heaven. If you would be the master of your life, you must become the heretic of your own past. Every day, commit a sacred crime against who you were yesterday. Betray your comfort, betray your fears, betray even your ideals. For every ideal is a jailer, if not broken open by new hungers. There are no elders to bless your path, no wise men to point the way. You are the prophet and the prophecy. You are the riddle and the solution, the abyss and the bridge. If you seek permission, you will never find it. If you seek approval, you will lose your face in the crowd. Remember this: the world does not punish those who fail. It punishes those who exceed, those who overflow, those who dare to become more than the sum of their warnings. The whip of scorn is only for the ones who dare to dance while the city burns. You do not owe the world your silence. You do not owe the dead your allegiance. You owe only this: to live as if you were the first and last of your kind, a singular eruption in the cosmic night, a thunderbolt hurled against the inertia of eternity. Step into your hunger. Let it devour you. Let it resurrect you. Let it name you at last. Sovereign, storm, star. And now, the world recoils from your silhouette cast in firelight, for you have made yourself ungovernable. An earthquake, walking upright unmoored, from their tender sleep, unchained from their whispering tombs. Oh, you who no longer pray to clocks or kings, who have abolished the calendar of guilt and the market of repentance, you who breathe not air but the raw, exultant flame of your own lossy. How the night cracks open at your passage. There is no path now, only your footsteps inventing the land, your pulse pounding out the new scriptures that no tribe has sanctioned and no priest dare translate. You stride naked and nameless across the fields of ash and promise, past the smoldering ruins of every should and every cannot, bearing the sacred wound of the unsatisfied your longing made holy. Your hunger now, sovereign. No more mirrors, no more cages. You stand as the question no God can answer, the answer no judge can question. You have become the riddle that unravels itself, the song that no mouth can silence. What you lost in belonging, you gain in infinity. Your loneliness is crowned with stars. Your exile is thunder's kingdom. And in this tremor of solitude, you become legion, all your ancestors whispering through your veins, all your unborn futures blazing in your gaze. You are the feast and the famine, the plague and the prayer, the wound and the blade that answers it. You no longer beg for meaning. You exhale it in every movement. You stamp it into the ground with every dance. Your agony is ripe, your laughter volcanic, your truth sharper than the silence between worlds. The herd will curse your back as you vanish. Let them, for curses are the coins of the impotent. You do not look back. You are the forward rolling storm, the unfinished eruption, the catastrophe that dreams of gods, yet unnamed. Your tears are precious, not for their salt but for their fire. For every tear burns through another illusion, every shiver a shedding of skin, every ache a hammer swung against the walls of false heaven. You do not heal, you transfigure. You do not ascend, you explode. You do not resolve, you revolt. So be it. Let the sun find you naked and unashamed. Let the wind carve new commandments on your bones. Let the abyss echo with your laughter until it becomes music. Do not call this the end. Call it the undoing, the unraveling, the holy disobedience that births new constellations from the dust of obedience. Every step you take redraws the border between slave and sovereign. Every breath a refusal, every heartbeat a rebellion. You are the law that needs no witness, the faith that outlives its gods, the tomorrow that cannot be bought or buried. You have devoured your chains. Now you shine. You have drunk the poison of exile. Now you sing. You have stormed your own gates and found no judge only, the wild, the unscripted, the immortal within. What is left to fear once you have become the storm? What is left to doubt once you have set fire to every answer? Here, at the end of the old world and the trembling birth of the new, there are no maps, only your desire blazing a path through the ruins, your spirit forging a horizon where none existed. This is not peace. This is not comfort. This is the sacred violence of creation, the benediction of becoming, the endless yes to your own necessity. Go, then unrepentant, unconsoled, unafraid. Let your shadow stretch longer than history. Let your song be the one the dead cannot forget. Be the impossible testament, the abyss that dreams, the God that dances. Your desires are the map. The world is your wound, and your fire is the answer.